Hi, my name is Drew Webb. For my project, I chose the 30-day drug and alcohol rehab program. Some of the issues that were going on in the program were that there were significant budget cuts expected within the next year. And with that said, the services that were being provided were mainly uh, were free for the clients. And the program's concept, is to serve, the underserved population in the area. So that seems to be a issue regarding financial ability going forward. Some other issues that I seem to notice were the nurses that were on site. If I'm not mistaken, they already have to be cleared by the hospital before they can be sent to the program. So, also, with the cuts, it's important to look at who may be needed and, who's not actually needed. So, um, another issue that I noted through the case was that, some of the clients felt that staff were sleeping on the job and didn't really, some of them didn't have sort of a cultural understanding, to what the client's actual needs were. And, that's something that needs to be developed. The other concern related to staff and other staff, um, they feel like, they work long hours and that their supervisors, might not give them the recognition they deserve for the amount of time they spend on their job. And this would also go in with the community leaders and the need to, recognize the program and to reward those that are, providing these services. Some of the things that I went through in my literature review that kind of supported the concept of, change and the reason, this rehabilitation service needs to stay. Really related to the fact that 30-day rehabilitation, through some research that I found, that it does, help individuals to remain absent. It's not a short stay like in a hospital setting where somebody may stay for 3 or 4 days and, then they're released. With this program, there is an extended amount of time that they can, stay and get the help that they, need. Um, Another thing that I noted through some research was that there's, the clients, really need to be those that are, seeking that help so that services can be provided. Not just somebody that's, court ordered or whatever. Because, with the budget cuts, they really need individuals who are willing, to change their, patterns of drug abuse and alcohol abuse. Needs of the program, this kind of goes back over some of the other things, with the budget, there needs to be a determining factor of who qualifies for the, services compared to who doesn't. With the services being free, there really, needs to be, when they're serving the underserved population, Medicaid seems to be, a service in which many of these of low-income individuals, receive Medicaid. Medicaid would be a good idea to implement into the program, and it would help with developing, better paperwork skills. I mean, all together, it would bring more income in and not have to rely so heavily on the community head of the program. Um, some of the other needs that I feel like are very important would be bettering the staff relationships with the clients. I feel that if the supervisors or someone outside of the system who's licensed can teach an educational courses on how to understand clients more fully, and this would really relay into the multicultural understanding. I feel that that is a huge uh, part of making a program successful. And when that's done, there will be discussions with the clients, outside of the program itself, and then being able to refer other people to a program such as this. And as far as the staff relations between the program and other staff members, there really needs to be a better recognition effort provided within the program. I mean, the long hours, are difficult, and then there needs to be a better time management, with determining who works when, and focusing on not overdoing the work week, because that could also, undermine the relationship with clients. And it would be good if the program could, have, at least specific days, maybe once a month, to, have some kind of recognition throughout the department. Some of the goals and objectives, also relate to improving the financial costs, and I think that if Medicaid is implemented, that would be a huge undertaking in raising the program and its status overall. The other goals would be, not a reduction in overall staff, but maybe the nurses, because they're doing mostly mental health counseling, which, I also think that the other staff, the 10 counselors can provide this, so it maybe, they could change the description title of the nurses, to something like that, because I feel that that needs to be in the hospital setting or a clinical setting. And this, if it was medication management throughout this program, I could understand. And also talked about bettering that relationship between staff and clients, along with staff and other staff, and the overall ability to become more cohort within the system. The target population should include adults of any age over 18 or 18 and above. Um, Gender shouldn't matter within this category due to they're serving, not a, it's the underserved population. So, it doesn't matter whether it's, male, female, you know, ethnical, cultural, and, racial backgrounds, that should all be, very culturally diverse. So, and as far as the financial part of this, I don't. The main goal was the underserved population, so maybe I feel that it needs to be implemented. Medicaid as being the determining factor, or somebody that may not have Medicaid, and being able to work out some kind of reduction in costs, because the Medicaid's going to help significantly with the budget, as noted previously. As far as anything else, the instruments that I would use in providing this overall plan that I've developed, I think that there does need to be an evaluation process within the staff and clients, along with staff and staff. I mean, as far as the client and staff relationship, I think that staff should be mandated to provide, qualitative documentation stating what they've done during the day, so that they can be covered. When Medicaid's implemented, that will help to cover that cost. And it also, show that, there is work being done, and the staff are really trying hard to improve their overall job status and everything else. Um, you know, and with staff and staff, if there's issues of not being able to get along with, certain, other staff members, I think that trainings would be good. And the trainings could also tie into the staff-client relationship. There needs to be, that the culturally diverse part that I speak about very often in this, that'd be a good thing to focus on when with the staff-client training. Well, not the clients, but the staff, just gaining a higher education. And they could also, a teamwork, aspect should be included with trainings, with staff and other staff. Another big thing would be to for you know clients to provide feedback through surveys to how how their relationship with the staff was and improvements that need to be made. And staff could do this as well to give to the community head leaders to see that the overall purpose of the program is actually working and that they're moving forward with everything. So I think that would be a big help to the overall part of the drug and rehab program. I think that is about it. I think with the last thing is the budget and timeline. You know, the changes with the budget are coming within the next year, so this Medicaid, trying to have Medicaid as a a main provider. They really need to look into that and you know focus on going through the process of possibly having Medicaid to fund the program, and it could be a cohort effort with community heads because the budget really needs to improve within the program, especially with the cuts. And that's as far as the timeline. I think that the trainings that I mentioned, and bringing out the surveys, and evaluations. I think that that would be beneficial, and going ahead and starting that just to develop an idea of what changes are to come and how it should be expected. Overall, I think that is about it as far as my project goes regarding the drug and alcohol rehabilitation program. And I hope that you found this to be a very interesting show. Thanks. Goodbye.